And I've titled this Keys to Earning Admission to a Top-Tier Engineering PhD Program, but this can apply to any graduate school program or even more so. So first, you should show you're serious. A PhD is not for everybody, and so you need to be able to convey why you want to be doing a PhD. And so it's important for you to figure that out for yourself first before you convince your reviewers. And then prove you belong. So whatever university you're applying for, it's important how you fit with the university and how the university fits for you. And you should be able to make a compelling case for that. And then contact the right people. So there are a lot of graduate students that are at these institutions that you're wanting to apply for, and they're a great resource for you to reach out to. But we'll go ahead and dive in a little. In the United States, a PhD program is, a long undertaking. PhDs in the US can take 5 to 6 years, and the PhD programs around the world, it doesn't matter where you're at, it's going to take a long time. And so they're not for everybody. And the people that are reviewing your application, they understand that too. They know that not everybody's cut out for it. So first, my advice is to really convince yourself that you want a PhD, or maybe it's a master's, before you start thinking about how you're going to convince your reviewers that you want a PhD. So once again, this takes a lot of self-reflection. But if someone is to ask you why you want a PhD, you should be able to tell them in 1 or 2 sentences. And then you need to demonstrate that you have the initiative and tenacity to perform well at a PhD. So like I said, PhDs are long, but they're also just very frustrating. When you perform an experiment 20 times and still nothing's working, you have to show that you'd be able to keep moving forward and that you really care about what you're doing. And so some ways you can show this is that you've been committed to this one topic for, but I mean, there are a lot of ways you can go about demonstrating this. And then you need to prove that the graduate program that you're applying to makes the most sense for you. So if you look at my little diagram here on the bottom, that if you're trying to get from point A, your past experiences, to point B with a future career, the goals that you have for your career. If you're trying to get from point A to point B, your PhD or graduate school program will be somewhere in the middle there. And to show that you're serious about a PhD, it should be very clear how you link these two. And it should be evident that a PhD program makes the most sense, that it'll help you get from point A to point B, and there's no other way to get there. And so when you're writing personal statements, this is the way you should be thinking about